Welcome to Capacity Planning in Clarizen. The Capacity Planning workspace supports the creation of what-if scenarios and provides insights at a glance to help you avoid overestimating capacity and overcommitting resources. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to evaluate resource availability, assign resources based on current and forecasted demand, and maximize the utilization of your resource pools. The process begins with the project manager, who creates staffing requests for resources on the project. Once the project manager has made a request, you will receive an email notification summarizing the staffing requests awaiting your actions. You can then use the capacity planning workspace to optimize your staffing across projects. Let's look at the different ways you can identify potential bottlenecks and simulate what-if scenarios so that at the end of the process, you will have optimized resource allocations to projects. The demand versus capacity view displays open requests, approved and assigned work, and the total capacity of a resource. In the heat map, you can see a breakdown by resources, job titles, or users, letting you pinpoint overloads and conflicts for a group, job title, or specific person. The numbers shown for demand and capacity in the heat map can represent hours, full-time equivalent, or FTE, or person days, depending on your preferred unit of measure. The color of the cell indicates the load. A partial overload is indicated in the cell and can be for a specific named resource in the resource group or possibly for this same resource group when viewing a smaller time frame. For example, the DevOps team may not be overloaded for the month. However, looking at the weekly level reveals an overload for one of the weeks in the month. In this example, the applications team has been requested. However, you can see that the team has no capacity. To focus on a specific user group or user, you can select the group or user from the menu on the left. In this example, you can select the applications team to see which resources are overbooked. You can also click on the resource row to filter the demand just for that resource by clicking on the filter icon next to the resource. This allows you to see the detailed demand of the highlighted resource row, whether you're viewing by user, group, or job title, so that you can make appropriate staffing decisions. The demand table lists all requests for user groups and job titles that have been requested by your project managers, as well as approved and assigned resources. Projects can be sorted by priority. Projects can be temporarily excluded from the view so that you can see the effect of potentially closing or cancelling that project, and in doing so, eliminating the resource demand. The excluded project's demand will remove all demand from resources and all calculations on the resource's schedule. The heat map and chart will adjust accordingly. Note that excluding a project does not automatically change the state of the project. It's up to you to discuss with the project manager if you indeed want to cancel a project. Moving from the demand versus capacity view to requested demand versus availability reveals only open requests, which are represented by a grey bar with the resources remaining availability and represented by the line. Let's now begin simulating staffing scenarios and in the process update resource requests, assign and reject resources, and optimize our plan as needed. Let's look at the demand table, which now shows only open requests. As previously noted, the applications team is overbooked, so we'll reject this request. We can include a post explaining the reason for the rejection, which the project manager can view in the staffing requests panel and reply as well. To reject it, we'll click the three dots and then reject. Let's look at Sally's capacity. Since she is available for the entire duration of the project, she can be assigned to the project. Now, let's look at the request for a business analyst. To take a closer look at the capacity, we can review by job title and immediately see the overbooking. As resource manager, you can check out different scenarios without committing. You can reject requests, approve requests, or update the numbers and see how the charts automatically reflect your changes. At any stage, you can revert the state to what you had before making any changes. In this example, we could change the number of hours in the request to match the capacity. However, let's review some other options by clicking Review and Assign. The list includes resources from the requested groups. If the requests included specific job titles, only those users with the requested job titles will appear in the list. Here, you can decide whether to split the hours between one or more available resources. And it's also possible to change the assigned number of hours per resource if needed. In cases where there are no available resources, you can select resources from other groups that you manage. The tool is flexible, and so if needed, you can also assign hours when the resource is unavailable, or assign more hours than available. And if you do not assign all available hours, the remaining hours will remain in the request. For all instances, hours can only be assigned within the project's timeframe. After reviewing the assignments, click Add and Apply to Project, and review the impact on the resource's load. The staffing decisions made so far are not yet saved, so you can keep making adjustments until the plan looks good. Once you like the way the plan looks, click Submit to commit the changes. Or you can click Revert to roll back all the changes you made since the last submission. Note that excluded projects stay excluded until you include them back into the plan. The project manager will receive notifications about newly assigned resources and updates to existing requests. The project manager can view approved and rejected requests in the Staffing Requests panel and assigned named resources in the Project Assignment panel. In this video, we have demonstrated a complete flow for a formal staffing request to resource assignment process. Capacity planning provides the tools to help you make the right staffing decisions and best balance and optimize your resource allocations across projects.